Good morning. This is day 2 of 75 Days Hard. I started over yesterday after failing the first round after 3 weeks. So right now it's 6:30 a.m. I've just woken up, just drinking coffee. I'm gonna do some journaling and then I'll get straight into work. Today is a work from home day. I have a lot of video editing to do today. Then I'll have breakfast. Not the most adventurous day ahead of us, but that makes it a little bit easier to vlog as well, because there's not 1,000 things happening. The goal of these vlogs is not to make it overly complicated or cinematic or difficult for me to edit. I just want to have a little bit more accountability, so that's why I'm posting it, showing you just what I'm doing for as many days as possible. And then hopefully you can also get a little bit of an insight into how I live my life here in Sydney as an athlete, working from home, training for my competitions and my runs, my powerlifting competitions and my running, trying to be the best version of me. Anyway, I'm gonna journal. That's how I start every morning, just to wake up my brain. And I will see you soon. Okay, so now it's 9 a.m. I've had breakfast and I've done some work and I'm gonna go for a run. My program says easy run 6 kilometers. I find that hilarious because that's gonna be hard. Anything over 2 is hard, but trust the process and run slow. I mentioned in my previous video that I was sick. I got really sick. I don't want to strain my chest too much, so I'm definitely going to take it really easy. I haven't figured out my gym gear. Sorry, I haven't figured out my running gear or like running outfits yet. It's all very random, the outfits that I wear and what works and what doesn't. I have like one pair of leggings that doesn't scooch down when I run and 2 tops that I feel comfortable in. I don't have a vest, which is something I want to be investing in soon. Amazon leggings, this little thing, also Amazon, sweatshirt from Cotton On. And these are my running shoes from Asics. I think they're the Cloud Cumulus or something. Cumulus. I don't know. I think they're pretty good, but I don't know anything about shoes, so don't take my word for it. They're very comfortable and has like a wide, they're wide. Probably need to replace them soon. I've had them for like 2 years. Headphones, JLab, also Amazon. Bye. Feeling good. From the run, 6 kilometers, 48 minutes. I walked a lot. It was pretty tough on both the legs and the lungs today. The park where I run has like an outer circle, which is just trail. And the half marathon that I'm running in 2 months is a trail half marathon. I'm terrified I don't know what I've gotten myself into. I don't know anything about wildlife or hiking. I mean, I've gone on a few hikes, obviously, but like not a 21 kilometers one. What if I'm the last person and I get left behind, I get lost, suddenly there's a snake and I can't go forward, but I can't go back, and maybe I fall down a cliff or something, or I trip and I break my foot and I'm in the middle of the woods. Like, I think there will be volunteers kind of stationed out throughout the course, but I don't know. So I'm stressed and a little bit excited, but mostly stressed. The furthest I've ever run is 14 kilometers. So the mere thought of 21 kilometers scares me a lot. With 14, I felt like, oh, I can just walk, because even if I were to walk the whole thing, it would probably take me like 3 hours, which is like a hike, you know? But I feel like walking 21 kilometers would just take me into the night. Yeah, a little bit nervous. But I know that I can run 6 kilometers on a trail at least in 45 minutes. So that's good. It's progress. You know, 2 years ago or even 1 year ago, I couldn't even run for 10 minutes before I had to stop. So I feel like I've come very far and I'm very proud. So far, nutrition-wise today, I didn't get a good shot of the oatmeal, but I had that oatmeal breakfast with coffee. I have had some bone broth, an apple, and some chocolate. The chocolate, I'm experimenting to see if it actually does help some of my PMS symptoms, knowing that this week is not the most fun week for me. And it's 11:30 now, so I'm going to start having lunch in about half an hour. I want to do a little bit more work before I have lunch. Like I said, I have a big day of just editing, and it's the kind of editing work that this particular project I'm not super passionate about, so my brain is like trying to seek out every possible opportunity to get distracted and just watch YouTube and do other stuff. So I'm not being as efficient as I would like to today, which is a little bit annoying. After lunch, I have 2 client calls today with my powerlifting online clients. Oh, there went the sun. Those usually go from like half an hour to 45 minutes. Just check in with them, see how their week went, review their training videos, give them feedback on the lifting that they're doing and the program that I've sent to them, and see if everything's working as it should, or if we need to make any changes. Just general check-ins. After the client calls, I'll go back to the editing, video editing, and then I'll finish the day with dinner and Pilates. So that's the plan. It's going to be like a very not much outside of the house activity from here on. I need to get groceries as well. Now that I'm restarting 75 Hard, I'm realizing I have to be a little bit more serious with grocery shopping and meal planning, just to make life easier. It just requires thought. My goal is to get in a few good weeks of intentional planning and prepping, and just get in the routine, like get some momentum and habit forming around like the sort of meals that fit well, and figure out when to eat what during the week, depending on if I'm like working in the gym or working from home, if I have time or less time, things like that. And then once I have like a few weeks under my belt, hopefully I can just kind of like copy paste the weeks and I don't have to think about it as much. I mentioned in my previous meeting video, I mentioned in the previous video that I do intuitive eating most of the time. So essentially, if you don't know what that means, it's just listening to my hunger cues. Am I full? Am I hungry? I try to eat regular meals and kind of eat what I feel like eating while still meeting my nutrition goals. I spent the last 2.5 years doing this, which has been really, really good. Just like healing, essentially, my relationship with food. and listening to my body and getting more in tune with what my body wants and needs. So like being able to stop eating when I'm full and actually honoring when I'm hungry and eating more if I want to. So I highly recommend that you look into the concept of intuitive eating if it sounds interesting to you. Obviously, I'm not doing that for the next 2 months, taking a little break from that just to make sure that I'm entering the weight class I want to enter for this comp in October. So yeah, we are going to have to do a little bit of a cut, and I don't think intuitive eating and weight cutting it just usually doesn't go hand in hand. So I'm making like a little exception from my normal habits to reach this goal of entering the 76 kilo weight class and hopefully breaking some records. It's a competition where you get money for each record that you break. And if you're familiar with Sheffield, the huge powerlifting competition, it's the same rules. So this is SPD Cup Australia, which means that you will win if you can break a record. It's so hard to explain. You win based on the percentage of the previous total record. So if I beat the total record with 106% than the previous one, and someone else beats their total record in another weight class with, say, 108%, they will win. We're trying to just push the total record, and then you get extra money for each individual record. So these are Australian national records that we're trying to break. I did last year in the 84 kilo class. I got the national squat record with 206 kilos. Heaps fun. It was a really, really fun event. I loved it. I do not think I have capacity to podium or break many records at this point in the 84 kilo class. I feel like I'm not quite there. The 84 kilo class is just like crazy competitive. So I see myself doing a little bit better in the 76 kilo class. Yeah, so it makes more sense. I'm currently sitting at 80 kilos, so 4 kilos to drop down. Might do look like a little fiber cut and a little water cut at the end, so probably don't need to actually lose 4 kilos, but maybe 3. So yeah, we're gonna do a little cut, and then that means I'm tracking my food. Bit of a kind of ranted on there and lost track of what I'm talking about. So essentially, my point is, what I was trying to say with all of this is that I'm not used to tracking, and I'm not used to being in a deficit because I've been in a maintenance for 2 years. I've maintenance calories for 2 years, so just being in a deficit and sticking with it for all of 2 months is a little bit unusual, so it just requires more thought and planning. Other than that, I feel fine. I don't find it like triggering or stressful or anything. Like I probably would have found it stressful if this was 4 or 5 years ago, where life was more stressful and I still had more negative feelings around my body, but I've kind of worked through that and I don't find this to be an issue anymore, so I'm pretty chill. I feel pretty chill about it. You have to check in with yourself and be very self-aware if it's something that you should be doing, or if you're just not in the right place to do a weight cut, because yeah, you have to take care of yourself, and these things are not just, they're actually more complex than you think. Like you can have long-term negative consequences from doing repeated weight cuts if you're in a weight class sport. So I just want to say that don't just think that because you're in a weight class sport, you should be cutting weight. So if I didn't think that I had a good chance of actually breaking like at least 3 records in this weight class, I wouldn't be doing it. It just wouldn't be worth it. So, and I think I'm also coming from a place where I have support and knowledge and like not any triggers around it anymore. So just wanted to say that. So I'm planning my meals. I'll do a little grocery run. I'm trying to think of like a good breakfast that I can have in the car on my way to work. And I think I've landed on sandwich. So my first client is 7:30 a.m. on Wednesdays and Fridays. I go in a bit early. and I just don't like having breakfast at 6:30. It's way too early. I also don't want to show up for that client session without breakfast, because then I'm like a little bit grumpy by the end of it. That's obviously not fair to my client. So I'm thinking a sandwich in the car, like ham, cheese, bread, mustard, maybe like a little protein shake or something. So I gotta go get some nice bread, ham and cheese. I'm nauseous though, like the PMS kind of like bloated. Realistically, I want to take a nap. Also, now is the time that the sun starts shining on my desk and it's really hard to work. So the remaining editing work that I'm gonna do for the next few hours, I'm actually gonna go up and do from bed. The joys of working from home. You can work wherever you want, and my bed is very comfortable. I'm gonna do that. Water wise, I'm doing okay with the water. This is the first bottle. Almost done. Which I think is pretty good at 12 p.m. And that's it. I'll check in with you after lunch and work. Hello. Okay, we have finished the workday. Now we want to go out for a walk. You want to go for a walk? Wow. 5:30. Last workout. A walk. Woo. Thanks so much for watching. The day has come to an end. We ended up going for a walk instead of Pilates because my partner is a little bit sick. I think I gave it to him. And now I'm gonna read. I'm starting this book called The Courage to Be Disliked, which I've heard really good things about. Water, almost finished. This is the last bit I have, and it's currently 8:30, so I'm excited. I will be falling asleep around 9 p.m. for an early start tomorrow. If you made it this far, you're amazing. Thank you so much. If you want to like and subscribe, I appreciate that a lot as well. It helps the channel grow, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!